Do it.
Hi, my name is Rachel McDonough, and this is my friend. Hi, I'm Savannah, and we're here at the beautiful Madison Square Garden for the big fight, and you are watching True School Sports.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT. I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. What's going on, guys? Now, Timothy Bradley, Manny Pacquiao, they have their fight coming up soon. It's going to be a hell of a fight. You know, Manny Pacquiao has been coming to this camp. He's throwing really powerful right hands, really powerful left hands. He's fast. His lateral movement seems to be on point from what we've seen so far. We know Bradley under Teddy Atlas has, looked like a completely different fighter, especially if you go look at his training videos. You can just see from a mile away. And it's the new Timothy Bradley at the age of 32, and he's, I think this fight for him. I know Pacquiao's Pacquiao. He cemented his legacy in the sport of boxing as one of the best, most versatile talents to ever do it, as far as moving up in weight and dominating at different weight classes. But I think this fight holds more weight for Bradley because Timothy Bradley, you look at his career, he only has one loss, and it is a Pacquiao. On paper it's one loss. Really, it's two losses, but people don't want to give him credit for the first fight, which I understand. I thought Pacquiao won, but anyway, he's beaten a lot of good fighters. If you look at his resume, he's beaten guys like Lamont Peterson and Juan Manuel Marquez, Ruslan Provodnikov, and a whole host of other guys. The guy is a future Hall of Famer, 5-time world champion. What more can we say about Bradley that hasn't been said already? With all that being said, I know he beat Pacquiao in the first fight on paper, but people don't want to give credit for that win. So whether this version of Pacquiao has slowed down or not, the fact of the matter is he's still Manny Pacquiao. He's still coming to win, and I still see this as a very, very even fight. And Timothy Bradley, I feel like he's gonna win this fight. I've gone on record multiple times saying that he's gonna win this fight. I'm a fan of both fighters, but I think Bradley's gonna win this fight. I feel like Pacquiao is on the older side. Bradley's he understands what this fight means for his legacy. And he's gone on record, and that's what this video is about. He wants to be remembered as the guy who beat Manny Pacquiao. So I'll read you the quotes, and we'll get into it from there. He said, I quote, "I want to be remembered, and I want to be talked about. Anytime they bring up Manny Pacquiao's name in the future, guess what? I want to be mentioned among those lines. Timothy Bradley beat him." Then he talks about Brandon Rios. Talk about the Brandon Rios fight. He says a lot of times people look at film and they can see pictures. That's Atlas. Atlas is speaking now. They can see people doing things fast, but you got to slow it down in your mind, and you can just look. You got to actually see what's transpiring, what's happening before the obvious. Forget the quotes for later. Forget the quotes. Back to Bradley for a second. Back to Bradley. I'm getting a bit off track. And back to his first quote where he said he wants to be remembered for beating Pacquiao. Bradley is a great fighter. Let's not get this twisted. Bradley is a great fighter. He's a future Hall of Famer. He is an A-level fighter. He's a career A-level fighter, a career pound-for-pound fighter. Never was a pound-for-pound king, but definitely a career pound-for-pound top 10 fighter, easily. That being said, he never really crossed over as far as mainstream. He never crossed over to the mainstream as far as people who only follow boxing on a fight-to-fight basis, like Pacquiao did, like Mayweather did. But as far as I'm concerned, outside of Mayweather and Pacquiao, he's the best fighter of this generation. Him, I would say it's really a toss-up. You could say, he's probably behind Klitschko. So Mayweather, Pacquiao, in any order, Pacquiao, Mayweather, Pacquiao, and then Klitschko, and then Bradley, in that order. So, he's definitely the 4th best fighter of this generation, 3rd best welterweight. I know some people might argue Miguel Cotto, but, Bradley won most of his big fights. All right, he won most of his big fights. The only ones he lost were Pacquiao. So with that being said, I think he's gonna beat Pacquiao. He's he wants to be remembered, and I think we all want to be remembered in boxing. Boxing, I think more so than any other sport in the world, is hard to get attention in because there's so many weight classes, there's so many great fighters, there's been so many great fighters in the past. No sport in the history, no sport out of all the sports in the world, there's no sport that dates back to the 1800s, to the 1900s, that has such a rich history, that is so ingratiated with American culture than boxing. You know, boxing dates all the way back to the Great Depression. You know, it's always been there, and I think, you know, it's harder for some guys to be remembered. Like, take for example guys like Charlie Burley, Ezra Charles, who were all-time greats. Charlie Burley probably being one of the best fighters to never win a world title. Ezra Charles being the guy that really popularized the Philly shell defensive style of fighting. So with that being said, you know, those guys don't even get attention, and those guys are all-time greats. Bradley's just an all-time great of this generation, and we know that he might have a hard time getting that attention if he never actually goes on record and beats Pacquiao. And I think he realizes that he doesn't want to be a footnote in history where people talk about Manny Pacquiao's career. They go through the Manny Pacquiao biography, and it's just the Bradley fights, and that's it. And they kind of forget how good Bradley was. But he understands what this fight means. Teddy Atlas, you know, understands what this fight means, and I think there's a lot at stake. Bradley wins this fight, then, you know, and if he does it in impressive fashion, that opens up the door for a lot of other fights. Potentially, maybe a Kell Brook fight. Maybe a fight against one of these young welterweights. Maybe that Amir Khan fight that was supposed to happen at 140 years and years ago happens. You know, you just truly never know. Boxing's a business, so it has to make business sense. But, you know, I wouldn't even rule out. I mean, I don't think it'll ever happen, but I wouldn't even rule out the potential of like a Mayweather fight, because, you know, Bradley's coming off a win. You know, maybe Mayweather will want to fight him, but who knows, man? I don't think he will. I'm just throwing it out there, but yeah, man. Bradley's got to win this fight. You know, it's gonna be big for his legacy, and I think it actually makes his resume a lot better if he can go out there and convincingly, soundly beat Manny Pacquiao. So, you know, most of the time I would be rooting for Pacquiao, but in this fight I'm actually gonna be rooting for Bradley just because I understand what it means for his legacy. But let me know what you guys think. What does this fight mean to Timothy Bradley's legacy? And you know, do you think he'll win this fight? Leave your comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.